Hello, I've got another low carb cast iron meal coming today. This is about maybe 3/4 pound of ground beef. I'm just getting it browned up. I'm going to make it's ground beef and Brussels sprouts with bacon and a little bit of cheese and a little bit of sour cream. Like I said, it's low carb and it's all cast iron friendly, so that's what I'm going to be making today. And my ground beef is almost cooked, and what I prefer to do with my bacon is I'm going to cut it up into small little pieces so it'll be like bacon bits, and then I'll show you what that looks like as I have it cooking. So the hamburger's done, and I am going to put it through a strainer to get the all that fatty out of it. One thing I learned growing up from Mom was doing this to kind of help cut down on the fat. So I am just scooping it through here. And after I'm done, I will actually run water through the strainer just to kind of help get out any extra grease and fat from the ground beef. I know that also gives a lot of good flavoring, but trying to be a little bit heart healthy here with my recipes. So that's what it looks like. I've strained it, and that's how much grease that I've gotten out of it. So like I said, I'm going to run this through the sink, or yeah, through the faucet, and strain out some of the extra grease. So I like to fry up bacon just so I can have some bacon bits for the week also. I'm not really big on using a cutting board, and quite frankly I don't have a fabulous knife, so so I don't have to dirty up a cutting board and a knife. I use scissors, and what I do is just hold this over the skillet, and this is the same skillet that I had the ground beef in, and I just cut it in thin little strips, and then I don't have to do anything afterwards except pull the bacon out and letting it cool off, and then I can store it in something else. So I'm going to cut up 2 things of this bacon, and like I said, some of it's for the recipe, but some of it is for the for the week and next week and any other thing I need it for. So I'm going to finish cutting the rest of this bacon, and I will get back to you in a few minutes. So I've got my bacon cut up, like I said, in a bunch of little pieces. And this, like I said, was 2 small packs, but this will probably last me 2 to 3 weeks. Sundays is usually my food prep day, so I usually do things like crock pot chicken, like a whole bag of boneless, skinless chicken thighs, or boil a dozen eggs so that way I have a snack for the next couple of weeks. I just do random things like that on Sundays. So anyway, so I'm going to get this browned, and what I'm going to do is, once I have this pretty good, I will pull out a lot of it and then put in some Brussels sprouts, so the Brussels sprouts can cook in with the rest of the bacon. And then I will use the Brussels sprouts and the little bit of bacon that's left in with the ground beef, and I'll show you whenever I'm to the next step in just a little bit. Okay, so this is about where the bacon got to. It's a little bit more like ham. You can see soft, movable. So I just poured it out into this container so that I can use, I put most of it in there, and what I did is I left the rest of it in the skillet, and there it is there. There's just a little bit of the bacon grease in there. So now I just add the Brussels sprouts, and then I will cook this together until it softens the Brussels sprouts, and then the bacon gets more done. Like I said, there's just a little bit of the grease, maybe, I don't know, a tablespoon of the bacon drippings in there with the Brussels sprouts to kind of soften them up. And I will let them cook together until the Brussels sprouts are fork tender. And I'll get back to you then. Okay, so the oven is warming up at 425, and the Brussels sprouts and bacon are ready. They're nice and shiny and soft. Go. Put that all together in there. And then you have to add 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Something like that. Now again, this is low carb, and so that does not necessarily mean low calorie or low fat. It just means low sugar, low flour. So it kind of depends on what a person is doing in their life, what kind of way of eating works for them. This is also, it's a clean way of eating. There's no additives and no preservatives in this stuff, except for what's in sour cream. I wonder what's in sour cream. Oh, cultured cream. No additives in that, so that's good. Okay. So that is your base. Then you get all that goodness off of that spoon. Then you sprinkle your ground beef over the top. Got my K-Love playing in the background because I don't like silence. And it's good music. It's uplifting music, positive music in today's crazy world. Okay. So, got that going. And then you sprinkle some Italian seasoning over the top of it. By the way, I'm not sure if I said it, but I got this recipe from a website called dietdoctor.com. It's a low-carb website. I think their premise basically is you stay in phase 1 of Atkins diet. But I'm just kind of doing my own thing. But they had a lot of really good recipes, and I make a lot of their stuff, so better give them the credit. And then you sprinkle some mozzarella cheese. Sometimes I use the Italian blend cheese. Just kind of whatever cheese you like. Because what? Because it's your food and you have to eat it. So whatever you're going to like, that's how you make it. Now, put this in the oven at 425, and I will take it out after about 15 minutes and check it. On a normal night, I would just wash out my skillet, and I can show you that process later. But since I am, was also making bacon bits, because like I said, it's Sunday and I try to do as much food prep as I can, I will wash the skillet after I'm done with the bacon. So I'm going to go back to doing this, and I'll show you what this looks like also. And in the background, I've got some boiled eggs, and that's later for the week. Or, well, starting tomorrow too, but that'll be my snacks for the week. So, alright, I'll hit you back whenever everything's done. So, this is about where I have my bacon at, where I like it. It is just, it'll be crispy whenever it dries. Right now, I've just got to get it all scooped up out of the pan, and then you can, if a person likes to use bacon grease for stuff, you'll have plenty of bacon grease that you can use throughout the week. It's sometimes can be the best thing to use to get your dog to take their medicine. Once it's cooled off and kind of in that pudding consistency, you just drop a pill on it and give your dog that bite. They'll just lick it off, and any medicine you ever give them, they'll jump up and down over. So, like I said, I just kind of pat it a little bit, and then just kind of let it air dry, because I don't want to put it away wet. So what I usually do is I'm going to change this paper towel and this paper plate and put it on a new one so that it can dry some more. So putting the bacon onto a new paper plate and paper towel and patting them dry, and like I said, now I'm going to just kind of spread it out, and I will let this dry out. It'll be dried out by the time I'm done eating supper, and then I'll pour it into a little container and keep it in the refrigerator, and there you have bacon bits for, a week, 2 weeks, depends on how many people you have at your place. And I take the grease and I pour it into a little glass container, and I store it about 2 weeks is however long I'll keep it. Like I said, it's mostly just for the dogs. I rarely use it because I prefer olive oil or coconut oil. Okay, I've pulled it out of the oven, and you can see that it is golden brown. Cheese is all melted, and I went ahead, and before I put the stuff into this little casserole dish, I put a little bit of olive oil on a paper towel and spread it around. It smells amazing. And there you have it. I'll give you another view. This is from the top angle, and there it is. And I am not going to take a bite. You can see that steam off there coming off. That is real steam, not the magic of computer. So I'm going to wait a few minutes to take my first bite, but I know it's delicious. I've had it 100 times. So there you go. And there's the bacon still in the background drying. Have a great night.